I started it about 2.5 years ago. Didn't manage to get any support from the Parliament themselves. They have a capacity issue at the moment where they're only able to help a certain number of MSPs. And because I approached them, I guess, halfway through the session, all the capacity was allocated elsewhere. So then you have to think, right, we've got to do this all ourselves, just with my parliamentary staff, which, as you can imagine, that's a really big undertaking just for a team with a small number of people. But we did it, and, we got it to stage 1. So that was something. But I'm very disappointed that the SNP voted to get whipped to vote against it. I think that was a mistake on their part. I think it showed them, whatever the reason was and whatever, reasons that they gave, I didn't find any of the reasons that they gave very convincing. And unfortunately, it's given the perception, whether they meant to or not, that this was based on malice. They just didn't want to do it because it was something that I'd come up with. And if something is your party policy and something aligns with your government policy, you shouldn't be voting against it, because that shows you to be a party with absolutely zero integrity and a party that doesn't care about, what are very vulnerable, mainly women and girls. It's actually quite disgusting that they did that.
So malice? Why do you think it was malicious? Did it seem like they were trying to block it because it was you that had brought the bill?
Well, as I say, I don't know. The reasons they came up with were there wasn't enough time. Well, part of the reason that we're running out of time was because of the actions of the government. So they seem to be creating that problem themselves. Another reason they gave is that it would need amendments. Well, all bills need amendments. I can't remember a government bill that's gone into the Parliament that hasn't needed amendments. And indeed, that's what this 3-stage process is for. Bills do not go in perfect and then stay the same to the end. The whole point is they go in at stage 1. You do extensive consultation. You get witnesses to give evidence. And then from that, you refine the bill at stage 2, and then you refine it again at stage 3. So to say that a bill needs amendments, and therefore that's a reason not to support it, quite frankly, it's nonsense. And another reason they gave was that, I can't remember, I think there wasn't, I didn't feel, because I did engage with the government, a number of times over the last year. And I can't honestly say they gave me one, what I felt was a solid, constructive reason. Because the other thing is, as a member in charge of the bill, you're able to change the bill. So if the government had come to me and said, oh, we've got a real problem with this part of it, I could have said to them, right, okay, let's work together to get this into a place where you feel you can support it. And the problem is, we never had any conversations like that. They just kept repeating things like, oh, well, we don't really know. It was woolly. So that's when you start to think, maybe there's another reason why they don't want to support it. So it's either that there are, senior sex buyers in the government or the civil service, or, maybe there was personal animosity towards me. I don't know.